Hello guys, I am the Kegman. Welcome back to Ipswich Town, and this is the final update for the Ipswich Town save. We completed the goal I set out to achieve, therefore we are done. Before we get into what the goal was, some of you know what it was, before we get into what the goal was and how we achieved it and so on and so forth, let's have a quick look at our manager, Bob Mario Hoskins. So, we ended up getting this final qualification, which we didn't start with. As you can see, he's not the best manager in the world. He's very specific about his attributes. He's very good at certain things, not very good at other things, is what we can say there. Really good reputation as well now. He has got a, where are we? This is a world-class, 80% reputation. A 4-star reputation in-game, which is world-class, of course. Really loyal to players, which is not very true. If you know about Kegonomics, you will see that's not very true. We were known for playing attacking football and it's entertaining football, a high tempo pressing game. We sign players of high reputation and young players and much younger players and very young players and younger players and much younger players and very young players. We prefer not to sign players approaching the second half of their careers or arguably past their best. Basically, I sign youngsters. I think that's what they're trying to tell. I don't know. I'm trying to read between the lines here. So let's have a look at the career stats here. Overall, when it decides it's going to let me click on it. There we go. So we were here for 2,156 days over the course of 6 seasons. We earned £11.5 million. We won 18 individual awards. We may win another one. I'm not going to look to see if we win Manager of the Year. I don't need to see that. Played 295, won 205, drew 39 and lost 51 for a total win percentage of 69%. Nice. We scored 649 goals, conceded 273 for a plus 376 goal difference, which is and dabby fucking dozy. We won 2 cups, we had 3 league wins and 2 league promotions. So over the course of 6 seasons, we had 5 pieces of silverware, and we've obviously got the 2 promotions as well. I would argue that's a very good return. Personally, I think that's a very good return. In Football Manager senses or talking sort of situation, I know there are people who quite often do better than that over several years, but of course we're playing this live, so I can't save scum. See what I did there. So yeah, we spent £130 million on Marco Canna. We received 35 for Eric Pulgar. We paid £15.25 million to agents, sold 152 players and bought 148. As you can see, there's quite a big discrepancy between the amount we bought for and the amount we sold for, but gives a shit. We are in the Premier League, and we've done it in a good way. So if you think of that as a average of £50 million over, it's less than that actually, but £50 million a year for 6 years, that's basically what we spent getting to. The value as well as installments, you've got to take that into account. So the installments over the next few years would also be brought in on that valuation. That's not actually that amount, it's stuff that we're paying forward in the future. Talking about finances, £84 million in the bank. Lovely stuff. We are strong financially. We are very strong financially, to the point where it's doesn't really matter anymore. We are very strong financially. So have a look at the squad. Very, very strong squad, as you can see. Very, very high valuations on our players. Let's look at Bradley Walsh, for example, of valuation. That's what we bought him for. That's what he's worth, £83 million. Hell of a player, by the way. I was so glad we bought him when we did. Really, I don't think he's actually hit his full potential, either. It's 4.5 star there, potential of 5. I think he's got a long way to go. Plus, he's only 22 years old. Genuinely think he's got a lot more to go. But I'm not going to see that, so, yeah. So we'll look at the all competitions, actually. So, as you can see here, we've won the Premier League. Now, winning the Premier League was the only real goal of this save. It was to take Ipswich from League One obscurity to winning the Premier League. And we managed to do that in 6 seasons. I was prepared to do one more season. I weren't going to go any longer than that. I thought that so much I wasn't enjoying the save anymore. It was just a case of it was becoming, I don't know, a little bit tedious maybe? I don't know. It was one of those sort of things that was dragging a little bit. I don't tend to manage in England. I don't tend to manage in England for a reason. I tend to find it's a little bit, I don't know, easy? It's a bit weird. But We're not talking about that in a minute. Anyway, so we won. Well, we won the Premier League. We got knocked out in the Champions League by Barcelona. We'll have a look at some results in a minute. We got knocked out in the third round by Liverpool in the FA Cup and knocked out by Norwich City in the Carabao Cup. That was on penalties. We got a draw of that game, and that was on penalties. Really pissed off about it as well. Let's have a look at the Premier League, as that is what the overall goal was. So, we won 29 of our 38, we drew 5 and lost 4, we scored 82 goals, conceded 31 for a plus 51 goal difference. Not a bad goal difference at all. We finished on 92 points, we broke the 90 barrier, we won by 6 points. Arsenal gave us a very, very hard run. A very hard run for a long time. Liverpool, Chelsea, United and City all fell off fairly early. But no, Arsenal did give us a bit of a hard run. Mikel Arteta, by the way, still in charge of Arsenal in my save. As you can see as well, we don't have a top player in the average rankings, not top 5. No one in the top 5 goal scoring, but Coutinho is joint third for assists. We scored the 4th most goals. We created the 2nd most chances. Our possession was one not in the top 5. We conceded the least goals by the looks of things. Conceded the least goals, which is fantastic news. We aren't in the top for fouls, and we aren't in the top for games without losing, which again is a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm sure we went longer than that without losing. Without losing. 1. Yeah, no, that's not right. Not right. We definitely went longer without losing. As you're going to see in a second, unless it's talking about current runs, in which case, yeah, okay. So, let's go back to the start of the season. So we opened up with a 3-1 win against Sheffield United when we drew 0-0 at Carrow Road against Norwich. Had a good bit of a run here against Leicester and then Chelsea. Took on West Brom in the Premier League. Atletico Madrid, we beat them 3-2 in the Champions League at Atletico at the Wanda Metropolitano before taking on Liverpool in the Premier League and managing to scrape a draw at Anfield. Norwich knocked us out of the Carabao Cup on penalties. The game was a bit of a weird one. We dominated and just couldn't get a shot on target. And we missed a penalty. 2 penalties, in fact. Final bit there. Very disappointing result from us. But it means we didn't have to worry about the Carabao Cup. We drew 1-0 with Stoke. Again, disappointing. And then we beat Bayern Munich 2-1 at home. Took on Arsenal away 1-1-0. Took on West Ham 1-2-1. Ajax beat them at home 3-1. Then Watford 2-0. And then we suffered our first loss in the Premier League here to Leeds 2-1 at Elland Road. A game that we dominated. So I was a little bit upset that we didn't actually finish the job there. We should have at least scraped a draw. But one of those things, I guess. Ajax, we won 2-1 away at the Johan Cruyff Arena. Beat Wolves 3-0, Tottenham 3-0, and then we drew with Atletico Madrid at home 1-1. I can't remember what the situation was in that game. We were the better team, and again, probably should have won. Again, it's down to the on targets. Our finishing was not that good last season. Took on Southampton 1-3-2. We suffered 2 back-to-back losses, one against City 2-0 away, and one against Everton at home. Now, if we look at the games here, City were the stronger team, but for this game here, I would argue that it was a bit more even, and the 2-0 was a bit of a weird result for that one. But they do have a good team. They've got Odson Edouard, Marco Asensio, for God's sakes, and Mendy. They've got a very decent team this year around. Then took on Bayern Munich in our last game in the Champions League group, winning 3-0 at the Allianz. Beat Crystal Palace 5-0. Bournemouth 2-1, United 3-0, Watford 3-0. Beat Arsenal 5-1, and then we got knocked out by Liverpool in the FA Cup third round 2-1. Again, probably deserved to win that one. Liverpool, that is. And yeah, I think a draw would have been fairer, but it is what it is. Beat Stoke 2-1, West Ham 2-1, United 3-1, Norwich 4-0. An interesting game, that one. Absolutely dominated Norwich, but we scored all of our goals within the first 12 minutes, and then we missed a penalty. Could have been so much more. They had a much better second half. Sheffield 2-1, Bournemouth 2-0. We then took on Barcelona at the Allianz at Camp Nou. Getting a 4-3 loss. Obviously, the 3 away goals we thought would be standing us in very good stead. Wasn't quite the case. Before taking on Crystal Palace, Everton and City, getting a good run of results there. We did draw with Barcelona, unfortunately, getting ourselves knocked out in the Champions League knockout round. A game that, again, our shots on target wasn't very good, but we should have won. Should have won that game. But good news to any Ipswich fans, the home record in Europe is maintained. Still unbeaten at home. Southampton 4-0, Leeds 3-0, Tottenham 1-0, Wolves 2-1, and Chelsea 2-all. So, we then took on Leicester City 1-3-0. The Leicester City game is when we won the Premier League. Only needed a draw, managed to get a win, and then the celebrations began. We then inched the result of the last two games against Liverpool and West Brom, getting a 4-0 loss and a 3-all draw. So that was it. That was the season. That was the final season. That was the Ipswich save. That was the entirety of it. So I do apologise for those people who have been enjoying Ipswich Save. I know some of you out there. I was starting to lose some interest in it, but we are starting our new save tonight over on Twitch. So if you're watching this today on Friday the 5th, I need to find out now. Friday the 5th of June. If you're watching this today, we'll be starting our new save over on Twitch tonight. We'll be kicking off at 6:30. We are going to be in Austria with Blau-Weiß Linz. People who were watching the channel last year over on Twitch, remember doing the pub crawl on Twitch last year, will remember our little time with Blau-Weiß Linz. It is unfinished business, and I'll explain tonight live. So, thank you very much for joining me, folks. Have a lovely day if I don't see you. Stay safe, of course, during this lockdown period, and while people are going a bit mental about everything, because obviously people are getting locked down. Don't forget it's Pride Month, and don't forget about Black Lives Matters. Some major things going on right now, and if you can give us those, please do. Have a lovely one, folks. Take it easy. I'll see you when I see you. Bye.